Hey guys, I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. If you know me personally or on a deeper level, you know that the last 2 years have been a really big challenge for me. I lost my dad 2 years ago. He died very suddenly in his sleep, and even before that, I had anxiety and depression. But when he passed away, my anxiety and depression just went to a whole different level. I see a psychiatrist once every 2 weeks and a psychologist twice a week, because it's just gotten to that point where it's just really bad and out of control. And in just the past month, I've lost some of my closest friends. Luckily, I gained them back, but the last month was a struggle. And just a week ago, one of my friends committed suicide, and that really shocked me into a point where I didn't think I could, be in. And I remember when I found out, I was driving, and my friend, confirmed that, it was true that he had passed away. And the crazy thing is that I had just been with him all of Memorial Day weekend. I was with him Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I believe he killed himself that following Thursday, or that Thursday of that week. And when I found out, I was driving, and I just remember I blacked out. I was driving, and all of a sudden I blacked out for like about a mile, and out of nowhere I was in this like little side street, and when I regained consciousness, I was shocked. I started crying, my body was shaking, I was sweating, and I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, and I was really scared, and I didn't know what to do. So I called my psychiatrist, and he took me in right away. So I went over, I told him what was going on, what happened, and a lot of it is like I'm still dealing with a lot of the emotions from my dad's passing, and it's such a weird thing to go through, and I know that the people who have gone through it probably agree that losing a parent is one of the most life-changing things you can ever go through. It changes you completely, and you look at things way differently, and if you haven't gone through it, I hope that you don't go through it for a long time, because it's just a pain that I never wish upon anybody. And unfortunately we all have to go through it, but it's really, it really sucks. It's the only way to put it. Me and my dad were not the closest. We didn't have the closest relationship, but he took care of me. He raised me. He provided everything that I needed, and there's so much almost like regret that I didn't tell him enough that I loved him, or I didn't tell him how much he meant to me, and it just, I don't know. There's a lot of regret, and the point of this is like, when my friend committed suicide, I regret that Monday when we were checking out of our hotel. He asked me to go to breakfast. He begged me to go to breakfast for like 30 minutes. And I was just like, no, I'm going to sleep. I want to sleep, blah, blah. And I didn't go to breakfast with him. And again, it's like, I regret not going to breakfast with him. I now feel like if I had gone to breakfast with him and I would have held on to him for another hour or two, maybe something else would have happened and he wouldn't have done it. And that's not the way to live. Things happen for a reason, and sometimes we don't understand what that reason is. And, my psychiatrist said, especially with my dad, he said, this feeling's never going to go away. He's like, unfortunately, it's going to subside and you're going to start feeling better. But the thought and the feeling of losing your dad, it's never going to be gone. You're always going to live with that. And, I've been on medications now for 2 years. Lexapros, benzo. I've been on, I don't know what they're called, to be very honest with you, but I'm on like escitalopram, Latuda, a ton of medications, honestly. And it's gone to the point where the medications now, I rely on them so much, and they're giving me a stronger dosage that I feel like I'm going crazy, and I don't want to take these medications anymore. I also had back surgery. There's been a lot of things that happened in the last year that it's been crazy. I had back surgery from when I fell at work, when I worked at Louis Vuitton. I have 2 metal plates and I think 4 screws in my back right now, and I'm scheduled to have another surgery soon. So it's just been a challenge, and not being able to take care of yourself and rely on somebody and being so dependent on somebody is not a good feeling. It definitely added to my depression and my anxiety. And when again, I'm sorry that I'm switching topics, but like mine's like racing. When I found out that my friend passed away, and I let it sit in, and I talked to my psychiatrist and my psychologist, and I came home. My immediate thing was like, I want to fix my relationships with my friends. There was 3 of my close friends who I stopped talking to. One of them was my best friend. We've been best friends for 12 years, and we stopped talking. We decided that we needed a break from each other, and that we really needed to take time and see what we could do for each other and how we can be there and be more supportive. And I never felt more lost because she had been there for me for everything. And it got to the point where maybe I was a little selfish and I relied on her too much, and she has her own life. I don't expect her to drop things for me, but she's like my sister, and I love her with all of my heart. And we reconnected again literally like 4 days ago, because for one, it was her birthday, and 2, I cannot live or feel like regret anymore. I cannot stand that feeling, losing my dad and then now my friend. I hate that feeling. It's such a shitty feeling to live with, regretting what you could have done or what you could have said, or it's not fun to live that way. And I came home and I cried for a while, and I'm just like, how can I make this better? So I reached out to 2 of my friends, and I told them, I'm like, what, I'm sorry for what I did. I take responsibility. I said, I shouldn't be that way. I was being selfish. At the end of the day, I was being really selfish, and that's not a friendship either. I was thinking about myself. I'm like, well, you're not there for me in this way, and I'm always there for you in this way. I'm not going to look at things like that anymore. I said sorry. I apologized for the things that I did wrong, and that's all I can do, is accept my responsibility and what I did, and grow from it and move on, and just make sure that they know how much I love them. And with my best friend, we reconnected, and I told her, I'm like, what, I will let go of all my pride and all my ego, because you mean so much more to me than my pride and my ego and anything. You are like my sister. My family loves you. I love you. I miss you, and you make. She's just always been there for me, and I don't know. There was such a emotion that came over me, and I just wanted to fix everything with everybody. So I guess the point of this video is really, to let all of you know that whatever you guys need as my friends, I will be there for you. When I found out my friend died, I'm not saying he was my best friend. Of course, that's not what I'm getting at all. He was not my best friend. We didn't talk on a daily. But in the last 4 months, yeah, we've hung out a lot. I've known him since I was 21. He's always been super respectful towards me. He's always taken care of me. He's always backed me up. He's always, defended me when people were talking about me, or when, people were trying to fight me. He was always there. And the fact that I was with him, like days before he did this, I'm shocked. And when I got home that day, I was just thinking, like, this poor guy, like, when I hung out with him, he was so normal, and everything was fine, and, we got along, and everything was just, like, it used to be. And I'm like, how, like, what overcame, his emotions to make him do this in such a short period of time? Because when I saw him, he was totally fine. And I was just thinking, like, oh my God, like, the feelings that he must feel, and how do you just drive yourself into, committing suicide and not seeing the way out? And I can't get to that place. I don't want to think about it too much, because I end up hurting myself. I give myself really high blood pressure. I've gone to the emergency room twice in the last 2 months, because I have such high blood pressure that I bring up on myself that I feel like I'm having a heart attack. So I can't, allow myself to get to that place where I'm thinking about it, because I hurt myself. And I just wanted to tell all of my friends that, whatever you guys need, I'm honestly there for you. And I believe strongly, I have a really pure heart, and I genuinely care about what people are going through. And as much as what, people say about me, that I'm an asshole, that I'm pretentious, that I only care about myself, that's very true. I used to be that way. I used to be such an asshole, and I used to only care about myself and, my clothes and my cars and my accessories and just stuff that was so unimportant. Now that I look back, and I'm like, I'm such an idiot. Like, I wish somebody would have slapped me because I was so stupid, like, to even care what other people thought about the way that I dressed or thought about what I had. You know, now that I'm in a better place, I am so proud of myself for where I'm at and what I've accomplished in my career. And I don't care if people know what I do or not. You know, I know what I do. I know how important my job is. I know where I stand with my company, and I don't need the validation from anybody anymore, you know? And it's just, I don't know, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not an asshole. I'm not who I used to be. And I think that, you know, I really want you guys to know that if you need anything, or if you need help, or if you feel alone, or if you just need somebody to talk to, I will totally be there for you. And I will drop everything to help you, because I don't want anybody to ever go through those things alone, or those feelings of, you know, hopelessness and getting to that point where you see no way out but to end your life. I don't want anybody to go through that alone. And, you know, I wish that I would have helped my friend a little bit more. You know, I did offer help multiple times, and you know, it's not our responsibility to help somebody, you know, and you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. And as sad as that is to say, it's how life works. You know, God has a plan for all of us, and, you know, all we can do is follow it and, you know, walk our way through life and hope that we can help somebody. And that's my hope for this whole message, is if I can help one person, then I would just be so happy, because like I said, I don't want anybody to go through it alone, ever. And where it hurts me so bad is, you know, my nieces and my nephews, and I think about it and I say, I would never want them to go through this. Ever. Oh my God, that breaks my heart. The thought of them going through something like this is where I'm like, I need to do something. I need to share whatever I can, whatever message I can share that, you know, I'm here to help. I need to do it, because I would want someone to help me, or I would want someone to help my nieces and nephews. That's just what I want. That's what I want to put out there. And I want to make it very clear to, you know, my friends and even people who are not my friends, if you are going through something, please reach out. And I'm not lying. I'm not saying that just to give you false hope. I genuinely mean, if you're going through something, message me, email me, ask for my number. I will drop anything to help those who are, you know, at that place in their life where they don't see another way out. I hope that you guys are all doing well. And I just, you know, all we can do is, I just pray every day. And I hope that all of my friends, close or not, I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. And if you have a friend with a mental illness, please reach out to them. You know, there's times where people with mental illnesses, you know, anxiety, depression, whatever it may be, they don't want to reach out because they feel like they're bothering you and they don't want to put their problems upon you. But, you know, as friends and friendships that should mean something, we should all be there for each other. You know, there's people who stopped talking to me because they said that I was an alcoholic and that I was a drunk and that I didn't know how to drink. And you know what? Whoever can literally look at me and say, I stopped being your friend because you're an alcoholic, I will literally look at them and be like, I don't want to be your friend. You're a coward. Instead of being a support system and trying to understand where somebody's coming from, you look the other way and you're like, I'm done with our friendship. I'm going to walk away. You know, good for you. Walk away. If you can't handle being there for somebody, then I don't want to be your friend at all. You know, I don't want a friendship who is only going to be there for us getting drunk, and when it gets tough and when it gets real, you're going to walk away. I don't want that kind of friendship. I think that friendship should be there for the best and the worst of your life. And the friends that I have now, which are literally 3 friends, they're genuine people who have seen me through my worst and they still want to be my friend, you know, and that means so much more to me than those people who are, you know, people who pass by your life and they're only there for a certain period of time and then they don't genuinely care about you. So again, if you guys need anything, please let me know. I'm here to help, and I just hope that my message can come across that one person who really needs it. and that it will stay with them. Okay. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I love you all very much, and I'm here for you. Okay. Stay strong.